This is day 2 of the second part of the budget session, and it promises to be a stormy day today as well. Yesterday, we saw a lot of ruckus in both houses of the parliament. In the Lok Sabha, the ruckus was over the two-language policy, and also NEP, DMK MPs led the protest. And in Rajya Sabha, it was all over delimitation. And in fact, there was also a walkout by the United Opposition yesterday on the issue of delimitation. But what really sparked an outrage was this face-off between DMK MPs, starting with T. Sumati, who represents Chennai South, and also then Kanimozhi, who's also a DMK MP and also the daughter of Karunanidhi, vis-a-vis Dharmendra Pradhan, the Union Minister for Education. The centre believes that the DMK is raising the issue of language, its insistence on two-language policy. Remember, Tamil Nadu has always had this policy of Tamil and English as connecting language since the 60s. BJP believes that the DMK is raising this again and again only because it fears loss, and that it is being hypocritical in its stance because a lot of CBSE schools in the state also teach Hindi, but it is the government schools and government school students who are deprived of the opportunity to learn a different language. But the DMK feels that this is about the autonomy of the state, about the rights of the state, and that is going to be playing out today as well, with the DMK protesting today at 10:30. That Congress will also be participating in that. The other highlight that is expected is, of course, the introduction of the Immigrations and Foreigners Bill 2025. Union Home Minister Amit Shah is likely to do that. Apart from that, of course, is going to be a discussion on the demands for grants, but it is the important thing is also the discussion on Manipur. But remember, all of this is expected to take place only if the parliament is allowed to function. But remember, with what we saw yesterday, it looks a little challenging because the tempers are quite tense, specifically with regard to the language debate now that has taken a different turn in the floor of the parliament. Let me go across to this political reaction that my colleague Sam Daniel got from spokespersons.
Joining us now, Tamil Nadu BJP's Vice President, Mr. Narayan Tirupati. So thank you very much for your time.
Yes, sir.
On the comments made by Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, the DMK and the Chief Minister say there was never a U-turn by the Tamil Nadu government, and they show the letter, the original letter, in which they say we are interested, we are keen, but subject to the committee's recommendations. And even in another letter by Mr. Pradhan, he has mentioned about the state rejecting it.
See, this particular PM Shri is meant for a specific purpose. It is for 14,500 schools across the country, pan-India, and out of this, Tamil Nadu will have some. So you had said that, yes, we are interested. We will definitely consider signing an MOU. So you release the funds, they release the funds. After that, you say that we don't want this. This is the problem.
You believe they made a U-turn?
100%. They have not only made a U-turn, they are stabbing back the poor rural government school students. My simple question is this: when others can learn 3 languages in Tamil Nadu, all are Tamil, sir.
The Education Minister have avoided calling MPs uncivilized.
Mr. Pradhan has withdrawn what he has said on the request or on the demand by Ms. Kanimozhi. See, that is fine. That is civilization. That is decency. He has taken back. Then what is your problem?
Well, that is Narayan Tirupati, who is the spokesperson of Tamil Nadu BJP, talking about how the DMK is raising this issue only because it fears anti-incumbency. But remember, the DMK is talking about the rights of the state, and Tamil has been not just a political issue for the DMK, it's been one of the prominent issues ever since it was founded in the 60s, and also something that led to agitations in the state. But remember, elections are due in the state in 2026. The BJP is also aggressive, and it wants to position itself as a party that believes not just in the dignity and pride of Tamil, but also the importance that it gives to other languages, including Hindi and other regional languages, especially the South Indian languages. Also joining us now is Asif Okay, we will be joined by a panel of guests, but first let's go across to my colleague Aishwarya Jain, who's been tracking the parliament very closely for us. Aishwarya, Kanimozhi has already moved an adjournment motion seeking a discussion on the NEP. Today again promises to be a stormy session with the BJP-DMK politics playing out. Tell us what all is expected today. is there any other bill that is also expected to be introduced apart from the Immigrations and Foreigners Bill?
Well, high drama can be expected inside the parliament today over the entire row of NEP, the politics that has been playing out between the DMK and the Bharatiya Janata Party. Yesterday, there were exchanges of words between the BJP leader and Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, and it was, of course, the DMK MPs who protested just not inside the parliament but outside the parliament as well. And today as well, there are adjournment notices which had been given by the DMK MP Kanimohi in regards to the discussion of over NEP and release of funds. The government has made it clear that they have no hesitation in releasing the funds to the state of Tamil Nadu, but why they are against the three-language policy? It is, of course, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, M.K. Stalin, who had already sent out the letters to various states regarding the three-language row, and of course, it is the DMK who had stated that it is the Bharatiya Janata Party who is playing the politics over the entire row. They want a discussion on that, which the government ultimately had said. In fact, it was Rajya Sabha leader of the House, JP Nadda, who stated that government is ready for any sort of discussion. Whether that will happen today or not is something that remains to be seen. But of course, at 10:30 a.m. is something that all the Tamil Nadu opposition, Tamil Nadu MPs will be protesting outside the Makar Dwar of the new parliament building over the entire row. Yesterday, it was privilege notice that was also moved by the DMK MPs against Dharmendra Pradhan for using objectionable and derogatory words, but it was ultimately removed. Of course, this will be the top issue in the parliament, with protests starting since in the morning inside the parliament as well. But of course, after that, important legislative bills, one being the Foreigners and Immigration Bill 2025 that Home Minister Amit Shah will be tabling.
Okay, thank you, Aishwarya. We'll keep coming back to you as you track that very important story. Sam, to you now, if you look at the BJP's criticism of the DMK's positioning on this, now the DMK's positioning has been consistent because this is a stance that it has taken since 1960s. But if you look at the BJP's criticism of this position, it says that a lot of DMK leaders also run CBSE schools where Hindi is taught, where DMK leaders often send their children to, and the DMK is being accused of not just hypocrisy, but also not being true to its commitment when it comes to Tamil. The BJP is also saying that the DMK is raising this issue only because it fears electoral loss in 2026. How is the DMK looking at addressing all this criticism? Because a protest in the parliament will send out a larger message in Tamil Nadu, but locally they will have to address this criticism perhaps in every district. How is the DMK preparing for this challenge?
Well, Basudha, the ruling DMK believes that there is a strong language emotional connect even now, like the way the state witnessed in the early 30s and late 60s that had catapulted the DMK to power. And the DMK believes people understand that the state has made greater strides both in education, higher education, employment and other indices of development only because of its two-language policy, Tamil mother tongue to teach, to think, and English to connect with the rest of India and around the world. And they hope that the people will understand the difference and the challenges ahead if the state accepts the three-language policy. It can be Hindi, it can be any other language. And they argue that on the ground, it will not work the way the central government claims. Even in Kendriya Vidyalaya schools, they point out there are no teachers to teach Tamil. If that's the case, even if three-language policy is implemented, tacitly they say students will be forced to learn Hindi, against which it is vehemently opposed to. On the other hand, the BJP accuses the DMK of double-speak, saying that the schools run by DMK politicians, ministers and functionaries teach Hindi as part of the CBSE curriculum. And they say it's a question of not a third language learning alone, it's a question of education equality, something that's being denied to poor children studying in government schools. While affluent students can study additional language in private schools, why should that be denied to government schools? So it's trying to take on the ruling DMK on the very language issue in a different way. Particularly, it hopes that this will resonate with the people after its two successive poll debacles, be it the 2019 or the 2024. It's hoping to expand its footprint in the upcoming state elections. Vasudha.
Right. Thank you, Sam Daniel, for joining us. So, an interesting day expected today, a stormy day, in fact, with the DMK BJP politics all set to play out. The floor of the House, in fact, starting with right outside the Parliament today, where the DMK has planned a protest at 10:30. Its ally, the Congress Party, will also be taking part in this protest. Remember, the Congress Party will have to nuance its position when it comes to delimitation and also something like the two-language policy, because it cannot be seen as anti-Hindi and it cannot be seen as anti-Hindi speaking states as well. Let me bring in my guest here, Asif Bamla, who represents the BJP. We have Pooja Tripathi representing the Congress Party. We also have Neerja Chaudhary, who is a political analyst and also senior author here. And we also have from the DMK, we have Harish Mohammad Ibrahim, somebody who supports the DMK. Thank you all of you for joining me on this broadcast. To you, Asif Bamla, first, does the BJP find itself in a challenging position right now, because Tamil Nadu has been a fortress that you've been trying to breach for many years, many centuries, and finally with the PM's continuous focus and commitment, there was a little bit of increase in vote share. Now, whatever is happening with regard to language and delimitation, do you see this as an opportunity or do you see this as a crisis?
You see, the problem with the opposition is that it raises issues which are false and baseless and gets trolled and जिसे कहते हैं ना झूठ की दुकान. You see, after getting the funds that is being released, for this language, the Tamil Nadu politics, on language of Hindi and language and the language of politics is definitely not expected when their own politicians, sons and children who are running the CBSE schools have Hindi as one of the languages. You see, you can't, because of an electoral issue and to gain brownie points from the voters, you can't deny students from a three-language policy. You see, the students in a way are being deprived of national politics. If you see, this is very uncivilized, very undemocratic way, and the way in which the DMK and its leaders are handling. And the idea is what? To stall the floor of the House and to divert the mind of the government from the people's issues.
So, okay, let me get in Pooja Tripathi here.
Not the right
the
thing.
use of the word uncivilized has also become very problematic because it should not have been used. Of course, Dharmendra Pradhan has also withdrawn this. Ma'am, how do you see this debate between the DMK and the BJP playing out? Because the Congress will have to take a very nuanced position in this. The camaraderie between Rahul Gandhi and MK Stalin was for everybody to see. In fact, this is one state which gave 39 on 39 seats for the India bloc in 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Politics aside, socially, what kind of impact do you see this as having? And also, when it comes to the parliament, do you see a united opposition when it comes to this issue of language?
Vasudha, I remember JP Nadda ji, the Union Health Minister, yesterday saying that opposition needs a refresher course in parliament. I think they need a refresher course in parliamentary decorum, dignity, and not using abusive words against DMK MPs. Even if they said it against DMK MPs that they're uncivilized, undemocratic, I think it speaks highly of the arrogance that the central government is riding on. When Stalin says they are not against Hindi, but they are against Hindi opposition. And that's where, they are drawing the line. But when you go on the floor of parliament, when you withdraw the 2,400 crore Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan's funds, when you just lay down this condition as a red line, I think this has become a matter of Tamilian culture identity, and that's where DMK is very strongly protesting. And it's not just DMK; all the Tamilian parties, all the regional parties are very hell-bent on protecting it. And I think, as you said, the camaraderie between Stalin and Rahul Gandhi is beyond political lines. They're good friends. They go by each other. And whatever the Congress stand would be taken in the parliamentary party meeting, but the government should come on. I think it's for the first time that a minister in government has taken back a statement and apologized. And first of all, Dharmendra Pradhan should open up a statement and apologize to the people of Tamil Nadu for an absolutely atrocious
Okay.
comment he made on the floor of the parliament.
Right.
And
Harish
You have
Mohammed
always
Ibrahim, you
disrupted the
heard Pooja
parliament.
Tripathi out. When
So
it
that the
comes
issues of the
to
common
when it
man
comes to the language
get
debate, a
disrupted.
lot of people say that Tamil Nadu has also changed in the last many years. It's not what it was in 1960s. Of course, I understand as a Tamilian that language is still an emotive issue and it needs to be dealt with very carefully. But this criticism that the DMK keeps raking this issue because it fears anti-incumbency, it fears electoral loss. How do you see this? Because we've seen a lot of people who want to harp on their own brand of politics, to save on to their, to cling on to their positions of power, often lose elections. We saw that happening with Arvind Kejriwal recently. Do you think that the DMK is taking the language debate way too far this time? Because at the end of the day, we're also living in an interconnected world. We want global opportunities for not just our own children, but also for others around us, because we want the country to grow.
No, what kind of argument is this? We are as a Tamilian, we make sure to learn two language policies existing for almost 60 to 70 years. And we have been fighting this civilization, uncivilization argument for over 2000 years in Tamil Nadu. And the last 100 years with the Dravidian movement, we made sure the Dravidian ideology put the principles on base and made sure all the Tamilians across the globe is there on all kind of sectors only by learning the two languages. One is their mother tongue and another one is an English to teach the outer world, to reach the outer world along with the other parts of India. And number two, with the argument whether we are about to learn Hindi, no. Even the Kendriya Vidyalaya schools doesn't have any three-language learning teachers to be taught there. And even we have a 34 Kendriya Vidyalaya schools. Out of that, 0 Tamil teachers are there, and 54 Sanskrit teachers and 32 Hindi teachers are there. On the CBSE schools, for almost 1,000 plus schools are there in Tamil Nadu. And all the schools, there is not even a third language teachers are there inside. So what kind of things the central government is preaching? And number three, the SSA funds.
Right, point taken. Harish Mohammed, point taken. I'm completely out of time. I'll have to go to Neerja Chaudhary. Ma'am, how do you see this entire debate? Because at the end of the day, DMK is saying that it has implemented at least a successful two-language policy. Now, of course, this is a claim. The ACER survey also shows different results, but at least English as a connecting language and Tamil as a language of education is something that the DMK has, DMK and AIDMK, in fact, the whole state of Tamil Nadu has insisted upon, believed in, maintained for years. How do you see this playing out? Do you think that this was one topic the BJP could have avoided, talking about? But it's a national party. It also has the right to talk about its own ideological issues, while DMK has the right to do the same with its own set of politics.
I think, that the background is that there are elections in 2026 in Tamil Nadu. The background is, yes, of course, the DMK is facing anti-incumbency and would be looking for emotive issues to latch on to. That is a reality. The background is that Parliament has become a political akhada, which you use to send out messages to your own constituencies. Just as religion is, Hindutva is to the BJP as an issue, so also language has been an emotive issue for the DMK and the Dravidian parties. And given this background, yes, I agree with you, the BJP and the government should have moved with greater care. And of course, the words used by Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, you can get angry, frustrated, were uncalled for and only compounded the issue. And the DMK latched onto it. Now, the way to go, as far as Hindu opposition, imposition is something that the Dravidian parties have reacted to. We know over the decades. Therefore, and yet, if you want to know what has actually promoted Hindi in the South, it is Bollywood. A lot of people speak Hindi, accept Hindi because of Bollywood films that they watch. So imposition is not the way. It's quiet dialogue, persuasion. And I think that is what the BJP government needs to go back to vis-a-vis DMK. Behind the scenes dialogue, painstakingly, to
Right.
talk to them and see how far you can go, but certainly not go for the imposition, or we are not going to give you funds,
Can't
which is the
understand
kind
why
of threat that was held
are being
out.
deprived from a national
Absolutely.
language.
Handling an issue like this with far more mindfulness works, and imposition has never worked in any situation like this. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining me on this broadcast. We come to you from right outside the Parliament. 10:30 is when the protest by DMK is going to take place. Remember, we saw a stormy session yesterday with a face-off over NEP between the DMK MPs and, of course, Dharmendra Pradhan, the Education Minister. And this was over the three-language policy that is mandated by the new education policy. Tamil Nadu's insistence that it is about the autonomy of the state and it wants to maintain its historical positioning of the two-language policy, which is Tamil and English. Now, what is going to happen in that protest? What kind of politics, what kind of political messaging is going to be sent out, and who else will be part of that? That will be something we'll be tracking.